Now then, I went to see Cardinal Black a few months ago, actually quite a while ago now, with my good friend Joe Coombs, who was supporting them at the time. And if you didn't know, Chris Buck is the guitar player in Cardinal Black. Great player, great guy, great YouTube channel, and great tone. Now, I'm sure I could make a whole video on Chris Buck's playing and tone, but weirdly enough, there's one thing that has stuck with me and I've been thinking about pretty much ever since that gig. And that was something he did, I think maybe even once in the set, and it has something to do with his wah pedal. He used a wah pedal in a way that I don't think I've seen anybody else do before. He used it almost like a volume pedal. He was swelling in his sound and his tone within the mix better than I've heard any volume pedal do. I think it has something to do with the way that the frequencies sweep, how they come from low to mid to high, and really piercing when you sweep your wah pedal, that brings it back and forward in different stages of the mix, and it was a really effective way of starting that song. It takes a relatively simple line. I'm just going to play 2 notes. It takes something like that into a whole new territory. And the way that comes across in a live mix is really quite incredible. So much so that I've been thinking about it ever since the gig. A wah pedal was the first ever pedal that I owned myself, and it became a really important part of my playing. So much so that in my first band, which was like a funk rock Red Hot Chili Peppers band, my job was pretty much just to play the wah pedal. Almost all the gig I was just going. That was pretty much my whole job of that band, was just to go like that, almost be a drummer in that sense. You know, down here we have a sort of bass drum, and then up there we have the snare drum. So if Chris Buck is using his wah pedal like a volume pedal, I've thought of a few other different ways that you might want to use your wah pedal. One that I've teased already is using it in a consistent manner for rhythmical playing. And what I mean by consistent is not deviating the tempo in which you are sweeping the wah pedal, going along with the beat of the music to emphasize that rhythm. Now, if you can really emphasize some of the muting as well, like, I think that's really key when using this technique. The next tip is sort of the opposite of that, and for me this is more useful when playing lead stuff, and this is where you emphasize your note choice with a sweep of the wah pedal. So whereas before we might have gone like, we might now do. A way to make your lead playing and soloing a bit more human-like and vocal-like, I would say. The next little wah trick that I think a lot of you will have heard done before is using it in a fixed position to change and alter the sound of your guitar. That this is great for finding a different spot in the mix that you might not normally be taking up. It's also great for, say, if you have a big muff fuzz pedal that is relatively scooped in the mid-range, use a cupped wah to bring out those mid-frequencies into a different territory. Which sort of brings me on to the next way I find useful to use a wah pedal, and it's to give your guitar another pickup. So we're going to change guitars for this. Here we have my Les Paul Junior, which doesn't, if you notice, have a neck pickup, and you can sort of almost get in the neck pickup territory with a cut wah sound. So the bridge pickup sounds like this without the wah pedal. And then all I need to do is sort of find the right spot where it gives that neck pickup rounder tone. Now, it doesn't sound exactly like a neck pickup, but I think in the context of a live gig, I think it's a pretty good cheap way of getting there. It does help if you pile on the gain as well, maybe have a bit of reverb and delay to sort of round things out even more. I will give a final secret tip, which unfortunately I can't demonstrate to you because I don't have the right stuff. But if you have a delay or a reverb pedal that has an effects loop, a really cool way to manipulate that delay signal even further is to put a wah pedal in that delay pedal's effects loop. This way you are only affecting the repeats of the delay with that wah signal. So you can really alter the sweep of those repeats. Thanks guys for checking out the video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe and maybe check out some more. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys.